What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started today, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. Now this one is going to be called the Tempo Pushing Wing build in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now this build, out of all NBA players, it's going to be reminding me of Andrew Wiggins. And as for the attributes, the ones that can reach a 100 plus is going to be our post control, layup, driving dunk, free throw, ball handle, speed with ball, perimeter defense, steal, and our stamina. Now that's all taken into consideration with boosts, gear, and even your takeover. Now as far as for animations, we're going to be able to get all of the dribble packages and then 4 badges. For this build, we're going to get 30 silver badges, y'all. That's a crazy number, especially for this kind of build. We're going to also get 9 bronze, 18 gold, with 1 Hall of Fame being Pro Touch. Now look, you're in store for a really good build. So before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. Now to get started, of course, we want to put this build under the small forward position. As for the height, drop it 1 tick to 6'6". And then as for this weight, I'm going to go ahead and put this to 180. Now moving on to that wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'3". And from here, we are all set to move forward. Now keep in mind, if you want to make any type of adjustments along the way, you can definitely go ahead and do so, but I highly recommend following along and seeing that we can get this actual build name together. Now the first area that I'm going to start out with is going to be our physicals. So as for our speed, I'm going to put this up to an 86. Moving to this acceleration, I'm going to go with an 84. And then as for the strength, I'm going to go ahead and put this to a 36. Now moving on to our vertical, you have to go ahead and put this to a 76. And then for our stamina, I'm going to put this to a 96 as well. Now look, for those of y'all who don't know, there actually is still a +4 from the Gatorade facility workouts. So with these numbers having a +4 for boost, you're going to have a 100 stamina, 80 vertical, 40 strength, 88 acceleration with a 90 speed. Now I'm telling y'all, these numbers are very solid, especially to pair up with the defensive end. From here, let's go ahead and move into the perimeter. So I'm going to put this number up to an 85. Moving on to that steal, I decided to go ahead and match this to the same exact thing. And as you can see right here, we are all set to move forward to that defensive rebound. Now I'm going to go with a 60. And right there, we're going to be able to also unlock Rebound Chaser. Now let's get into the other areas of this build, and I'll definitely come back to make sure that we go through the badges. So as for when it comes to our speed with ball, I'm going to go with an 83. Moving on to that ball handle, I decided to go with a 92. And then moving on to this pass accuracy, I'm going to go with a 76. Now I think these numbers are perfect. Like I said, you will be able to get all of the dribble packages. 83 speed with ball is definitely solid, and especially with this pass accuracy, if you add boost, this number can definitely reach into the 80s. Now getting into the free throw, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 80. That's going to allow us to get free points on silver. Now as for the 3-pointer, I'm going to go ahead and put this to a 76. And if you want to, yes, you can go ahead and raise this number, but I think this is going to be the perfect threshold, not only to hit consistently, but if you have boost on this build, both of these numbers are going to reach into the 80s. Now as for the post control, I'm going to go with an 84. And moving on to our driving dunk and driving layup, I'm going to go with an 80 for our dunking. And then as for the layup, put this to the same exact thing. Now this is what the build is going to be looking like once you max it out to 99 overall. And I think we're pretty well balanced all around. Now to get started with our physicals, the badges that we do get from this area are Speed Booster and Hyperdrive, both on gold. We also get Blow By. Other ones that I like are Fast Feet, Triple Threat Strike, and then also when it comes to our vertical, we get Posterizer, aerial wizard, and also handles for days. Now moving to the defensive end, this is a key badge that I did want to unlock for this build. As for the steal, we get silver glove, interceptor, and right stick ripper. As for our perimeter defense, look, we get badges like challenger, pick dodger. A lot of these are going to make a huge difference, especially in the rec. Now for the speed with ball, I think these badges work out perfectly. And as for the ball handle, the badges that I'm focused on are killer combos on silver. We're also going to be able to get gold ankle breaker. And then for our pass accuracy, we get silver dimer, relay passer, special delivery, break starter, and post playmaker. Now already we're off to a good amount of silver badges, but look, we're also able to get Agent 3. Especially for the shooting, I think we have everything and more needed to be effective out of this build. A lot of silver badges, like I did mention earlier, we're going to be able to get 30 in total if you count it up. Now as for the post control, I like the fact that we're able to get unpluckable out of this area. Also silver dream shake with drop stepper. I also do like hook specialist and post fade phenom. Then we get gold post pin technician. And then for our driving dunk, slithery makes a huge difference as well as precision dunker. We get bunny, spin cycle, and two step. Really for this build, I think you can even consider it to be a catfish. With these badges that we did unlock, I really want to know your thoughts and opinion on this build down below. Is there anything that you would change or do to make it a little better? But other than that, I think this build, like I said earlier, it really does remind me of Andrew Wiggins. Now from here, let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that we made this build correctly. And if you followed every single step of the way, we should be able to get these three comparisons. And as y'all can see together, we have created the first and best tempo pushing wing build in NBA 2K24 on next gen. Now of course, I had to go ahead and make sure that I was bringing y'all that Andrew Wiggins comparison as well. Now with this build having boost, do take into consideration the plus 4 to 5 that you get from buying your own, the additional boost that you get from playing well in each and every game, and then on top of that, the boost that we get from gear and our takeover. That's at least a plus 10 to 15 depending on the way that you look at it. Now look, before we get out of here, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.